This chart tracks the current explosion of the agentic AI market. We're looking at a $2.59 billion valuation with a 46% annual growth rate. The momentum is driven by a specific promise that companies can take entire departments of human workers and replace them with autonomous agents that perform the same tasks for a fraction of the cost. But in late 2024, the fintech giant Klarna tested the absolute limit of that promise. Leadership paused hiring, cut the workforce from 5,500 to 3,400, shifting the work of 700 support agents to a single AI chatbot. Within 6 months, customer satisfaction fell sharply. Quality became so inconsistent that the company had to pull software engineers and marketing staff away from their actual jobs just to help answer basic customer support tickets. Klarna attempted to automate the labor without rebuilding the environment surrounding that labor. Removing the people while leaving complex, messy workflows intact didn't create efficiency. It created an operational bottleneck that the AI wasn't built to handle. This gap between the CEO's expectations and the actual results reveals a widespread lack of technical clarity. In the scramble to find the next big efficiency gain, agentic AI has become a catch-all label for 3 technologies that behave nothing like one another. To avoid the Klarna trap, you have to separate the hype from the architecture. That means choosing standard GenAI chatbots, robotic process automation, and true agentic AI. Every automation decision you make is governed by one specific trade-off: how much you value absolute predictability versus how much you need the system to adapt. Treating a probabilistic AI model as if it were deterministic software is a recipe for failure. Architectural clarity is a requirement before committing a single dollar of your budget. We mapped these onto a matrix, starting with generative AI chatbots. They are reactive, stateless assistants sitting idle until a human provides a manual prompt. Costs are low, $5,000 to $30,000, but returns are capped. They only assist with information, not execute workflows. A chatbot is an excellent tool for answering repetitive questions, but without a human to drive it, it cannot take the next step in a process. The second pillar is robotic process automation, or RPA, focusing on high-volume software execution. RPA bots follow rigid, rules-based steps. They mimic human interactions by clicking buttons and typing data into specific fields within your existing software interfaces. This provides 100% predictable results. In high-volume, repetitive tasks where you cannot afford deviation from the script, RPA is the standard. However, these systems are brittle. A minor UI update or a small change in a form's layout will break the RPA chain immediately because the bot has no intelligence to figure out what changed. RPA offers perfect precision for stable processes, but it is incapable of handling unstructured data or adapting to unprogrammed environments. That brings us to the third pillar: true agentic AI. This is an autonomous orchestrator that plans and executes multi-step work without a human-written script. Instead of a rule, you assign the agent a high-level goal and access to tools. It operates in a continuous loop, perceiving the environment, reasoning a plan, acting through APIs, and evaluating results. If a step fails, the agent self-corrects, trying a different path. This autonomy introduces a major risk. Because these models are probabilistic, they guess the next action. If that guess is a hallucination, an agent can accidentally delete a database or misroute payments. This creates a heavy economic trade-off. You have to invest heavily, often upwards of $150,000, just to build the governance, audit logs, and safeguards required to keep the system safe. Agentic AI provides a level of adaptability that RPA cannot touch, but it requires extreme oversight to ensure those probabilistic decisions don't lead to real-world damage. Choosing the right tool starts with diagnosing your specific operational problem. We must look at data stability and error tolerance. If your goal is purely reactive and you need to answer predictable questions on a budget, the correct choice is a standard chatbot. It filters high-volume noise cheaply, but human staff will handle complex exceptions and reach out proactively. If your workflow involves fixed rules and structured data, like invoice entry or payroll processing, you should deploy traditional RPA to guarantee precision. Identifying how much mediation your process can handle is the only way to avoid overspending on unnecessary AI or breaking a brittle RPA system with messy data. For mature enterprise operations, the ultimate target is a hybrid architecture. This model uses agentic AI as the brain. Its only job is to parse unstructured data, like reading a messy email from a client, and deciding exactly what action needs to be taken. Once the agent makes a decision, it hands the command to RPA. The RPA acts as the hands, executing the action safely within legacy software. This requires high technical maturity. Robust API orchestration is needed to manage that handoff, so the AI's reasoning translates into a deterministic, safe action. Scale doesn't come from replacing a human with a single AI. It comes from architecting a system where probabilistic brains direct deterministic hands, keeping the technology perfectly aligned with your business's tolerance for risk.